When you go into markets, Uber's an investor of yours. They're also a partner through the Uber Eats division. What kind of data insight is Uber sharing with you for where the demand is for the best places to deploy your robots?
Yeah, we are very aligned in terms of our incentives to put the robots in the right place that gets the most utilization. We are very collaborative in that sense. I can tell you before we spun out, when we were inside Postmates and later Uber, I actually had access to historical data of, like, say, Postmates deliveries around the country yesterday. One of the first things I did before the very first Serve robot was launched was actually build a tool that would download that information at any moment and simulate robots at different geographies. So I could literally say, hey, put 20 robots in this location and then feed the historical data into it and see what the robots would do if they were actually operating there yesterday. This informs so many of our decisions. We've actually been unique in the sense that we knew what delivery looked like better than anybody before we even built the first robot. There were decisions like, how much battery should a robot have? I think generally our industry decided, a few hours would be fine. You can charge the robots in the middle. Maybe you swap the batteries. We ran the numbers and immediately knew that that's not very good for your unit economics. You don't want a robot that's sitting idle halfway through the day. You don't want a human involved in that process of battery swapping. So we actually build robots that can go all day. Our robots can go like 14 hours in a day. Now, the other question is, what is an all-day robot? Do you need to go 14 or 20 hours or 10 is enough? Turns out anything more than 10, 11 hours captures 90% of the demand. Again, something we knew because we had the raw data to begin with. So we found that information is really, really helpful. So we've been able to focus on the product and know what it needs to be and not have to change our mind and kind of iterate on some of the fundamentals.
Is it pattern similar to a restaurant? You have your breakfast rush, or your lunch rush, or dinner rush, and then you have your after dinner rush. Is it a very similar pattern to what you're seeing?
Pretty much. I mean, you have restaurants that either are serving lunch, dinner, or breakfast, and then there are ones that just go throughout the day, like coffee shops and desserts and other stuff, ice creams, that sort of thing. So we try to have a diversity so that the robots are utilized, all the hours of the day, basically.
Then that raises the question: how do you deploy your depots? Do you strategically put them around the densest parts of where most deliveries are going to occur, or how do you pick your depots?
Usually, each depot services multiple neighborhoods, so it's kind of a off the beaten path, but not by far. So we don't have to be on a major street where real estate is really expensive, but we need to be within a couple of miles of a few neighborhoods where there's a high business density. And then in the morning, the robots basically go out by themselves. They can go to the neighborhoods nearby. And then at night, they can return home where they get charged, they get cleaned, they get maintained, and get ready for the next day.
From a depot perspective, I'm assuming you're operating a very simple depot. You just have a locked garage because the robots are valuable, and you have charging infrastructure. Is that pretty much it?
That's right. That's pretty much it. And some internet infrastructure, we get the data. Of course, we use the data for training, etc. So when the robots come home, we can offload the data as well.